time, weather, and...
Hello and welcome to Driving with Todd. And I'm Todd. The other day I pulled out the album by Three Dog Night called Seven Separate Fools. Now I've got several copies of that. I've got it on vinyl, I have it on reel-to-reel, I have it on cassette, but I've never listened to it. But that's nothing new. I've got a lot of records I've never ever listened to. But I wanted to hear it, so I put it on, and I'm listening to it and I'm going, wow, this is a really good album. And then it gets to a song called Pieces of April. Now I love that song. It's a great song by Three Dog Night. And I'm sitting back and I'm going, wow, that's really, really good. I wonder who wrote that song. Because Three Dog Night usually did cover versions and didn't write a lot of their own material. It turns out it was written by Dave Loggins. I thought that's pretty cool. Dave Loggins, the guy who did the song Please Come to Boston. I'm wondering if he recorded it himself, so I had to dig a little bit further. Sure enough, he recorded it, released it on his first album called Personal Belongings, which was released in February of 1972. Well, the next month, March of 1972, was when Three Dog Night released that song as well. Now, Dave Loggins released it as a single in January of 1973 when Three Dog Night hit number 19 on Billboard's Hot 100 Singles chart with their single version of Pieces of April. So they were kind of like tandem. They're going parallel to each other. Well, Dave Loggins didn't make a hit out of the song, but in 1979, he re-recorded the song and released it on his last album called Dave Loggins. Now, we lost Dave Loggins on July 10th of this year. He passed away at the age of 76. So this is to kind of go back and say, hey, Dave, we're going to play some of your music. So what I want to do is compare Dave's original version of the song Pieces of April to his re-recorded version that he had done 7 years later. So here we go with Dave Loggins' original version of Pieces of April. Oh yeah, and I've never heard either of these before. Okay, I've heard the Three Dog Night like everybody else has, but I've never heard the Dave Loggins version. And I want to just make one other note before I start playing the music. Dave Loggins' second cousin is Kenny Loggins from Loggins and Messina. So here we go with Pieces of April by Dave Loggins.
April gave us springtime and the promise of the flowers and the feeling that we both shared and the love that we called ours. And we knew no time for sadness. That's a road we each had crossed, and we were living a time meant for us. And even when it would rain, we'd laugh it off. And I've got pieces of April, I keep them in a memory bouquet. I've got pieces of April, and it's a morning rain.
Oh, beautiful version of that song. That is just great. And I can't understand why it didn't chart when he released it as a single, although I think trying to match it up with Three Dog Night is pretty tough. But I really like his voice on this song, and that piano in there just drives it as a beautiful ballad. It's just a really nice ballad. And I kind of like his little bit of his cracking in his voice. And it reminds me a lot of I'm sitting back, and the melody and how he's singing it reminds me a lot of Please Come to Boston. So it's just really well done. And then when the bass guitar and the drum comes in, it adds a little bit more emotion to the song. But well done song, really nice. I like the way he's presenting it. Let's keep on going.
We stood on the crest of summer beneath an oak of blossomed green, feeling as I did in April, not really knowing just what it means, but it must be then that stands beside me now to make me feel this way. Just as I did in April, and it's a morning in May, and I've got pieces of April that I keep in a memory bouquet. I've got pieces of April, and it's a morning in May. It's a morning, it's just a morning in May. It's a morning in May. It's a morning in May.
Oh, that's really nice. I'm wondering if Three Dog Night had heard this version. I'm not sure if they would have, because he released it in February of 1972, and Three Dog Night released it a month later. So I don't know how they came about this particular song. But even the ending, where Dave Loggins is singing, it's a morning in May. He's like repeating the refrain at the end of the song. Three Dog Night did the same thing. So I'm wondering how they how they got this song from Dave Loggins. If Dave Loggins had created a demo of it and then presented it to Three Dog Night, or how that worked. But this is a really cool version. I love the strings in there. And there's one part where the strings really came up front, and then the piano took like a back seat, was pushed back into the mix, and then the piano came back out again. I really like that part of the song. But just a great ballad. It's just a wonderful song. It just makes you have some remorse as you're listening to the lyrics. But very cool version of that song. And it's kind of like a country rock ballad, the way that Dave Loggins presented it. So what I want to do now is go into his next version that he recorded in 1979 for his last album, and see how he presents it with that particular recording. Because like I say, I haven't heard either of these versions, but I really do like this first version, and Dave Loggins got such a cool voice. So let's keep on going and hit up on the 1979 version of Pieces of April by Dave Loggins.
April gave us springtime and a promise of the flowers and a feeling that we both shared, a love that we called ours. We knew no time for sadness, That's a road we each had crossed, and we were living a time meant for us. And even when it would rain, we'd laugh it off. And I've got pieces of Abraham, I keep them in a memory bouquet. Yes, I've got pieces of Abraham, and it's a morning May.
Oh, a lot different. Wow, what a change from the 1972 version to the 1979 version. This one has like basically electronic instrument. I mean, it's got guitar, bass, drum, very little acoustic, very little strings. It's more of a country rock sound to this particular version of the song, and it's a little bit faster as well. And I like the way he's singing it again. He's giving it more of a country twang to his voice as he's singing this particular version of the song. But it's like a total different arrangement to the song from how Dave Loggins, the way Dave Loggins did it in 71, 72, and even how Three Dog Night approached the song. This is like totally different arrangement, but it's still really good. I think it's because it's a good song. And I've said this before in other videos. If it's a good song, doesn't matter how you do it, it's still a good song. Let's keep on going.
The morning we stood on the crest of summer, beneath an oak of blossomed green, and feeling as I did in April, and not really knowing just what it means. But it must be then that stands beside me now to make me feel this way. And just as I did in April, and here it is a morning in May, and I've got pieces of April, I keep them in a memory bouquet. Yes, I've got pieces of April, and it's a morning May. It's just a morning May. It's just a morning. It's just a morning, just a morning, morning in May, morning in May, morning in May, morning in May.
Wow, that's very different. Very different. I like the background vocalist. I think that adds a lot to it. And I had mentioned there wasn't a lot of piano. Well, after I started it back up again, that piano came in and drove the song. And there is some good keyboard, some organ in there too. If you listen real close, there's an organ going on in there. I mean, there's just like every instrument that he could pull out, he put into this version that made it like a total different arrangement than the original version. It was like he was trying to reunite this song, or reignite. What I meant is reignite this song, make it like totally different, and he did it. I'm not so sure I like it as much as I like the original. I really liked the way that he did the ballad ballad style with that piano and the strings in that original version. I really like his original version a little bit better than this one, but this one rocks out a little bit more, and it drives a little bit more with that bass and the drum and the guitars and the piano and the keyboards and the background vocalist. It's got a little bit more of a rocky feel to it than the original. The original is a little bit more sad, but I think they're both really good versions. But if I had to pick one, I'm going to pick that original. I really like how he presented his original version of this song. So there you go. There's two different versions of Pieces of April done by Dave Loggins. One from his first album, which is more of a ballad style, and then more of a country rock version that he did on his last album. Kind of cool that he did this song twice, once for his first, once for his last. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did enjoy it and you liked it, hit that like button. That'd be really appreciated. If you have any comments on the song Pieces of April, done by Dave Loggins, either the original or the one from 1979, put in the comments below. That'd be really appreciated. Now I'm going to take a link to both videos and put it into my description below. So if you want to hear either version of the song, click on the link. It'll open up and play for you. I'm also going to take a link to the channels that uploaded these videos and put it in my description below as well. So if you want to check out those channels, click on those links and those channels will open up. They may have some other videos you'll want to see. So have you subscribed to Driving with Todd? If you haven't, you got to do it. We're doing all kinds of fun things on Driving with Todd. Like here, we're comparing two versions of a song recorded by Dave Loggins. Go below this video, click that subscribe button, and you make me very happy. If you go over here and ring the bell, you'll get updates to my latest videos. When I saw that Dave Loggins recorded a version of the song he wrote, Pieces of April, and then I saw that he recorded again, I had to do a video and compare the two because I had never heard these songs before. Both were cool, put a smile on my face. I'm hoping they put a smile on your face, and peace out, baby.